You stop it.
You stop it. All right, guys. So we're trying something a little different. We've always.
Oh, we're recording already.
Yeah. We've always kind of done more interview style podcasts, but
where's my headphones?
We're fine. I had a short amount of time to get this stuff together, so I got the bare essentials.
All right.
So yeah, so we thought we would do a little bit more of a discussion based kind of sprinkled in between the interviews, because between the two of us, we have a lot of experience in Jiu Jitsu and MMA.
Well, those who know me know I'm very opinionated. Just ask me. Just ask me.
So we thought we'd kind of do some discussions, just the two of us, on a couple different variety of topics. And we were talking about loyalty today.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it.
We were talking about a lot of stuff.
So loyalty is kind of an interesting. Yeah.
Or Chianti, depending on where your basis of origin is when you read the word from like Carlson Gracie. That some people would be like it's Crianche, other people would be a Chianti. But it's ultimately speaking, it's a topic that offends many people, but at the same time, it's also I think it's a topic that truly needs to be discussed. Because this is I don't know, but again, my personal opinion, if you train with a group of people, and you got to think Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and things of that nature, you are actively engaged in a group of individuals for, even if you're a blue belt, that's like what, 2 years?
Yeah, two and a half years.
Maybe you're getting it a little bit early, maybe you're getting it a little bit later. But imagine doing anything for 2 years and not building friendships, camaraderie, and the like to a group. Imagine having the attitude of fuck them. I know those guys and gals mean nothing to me, even though I've spent 2 years with them.
Yeah, so there's kind of like two sides of the coin with loyalty. So you'll hear people speak of it more in almost like a culty fashion, where that's kind of the blind loyalty, the team before everything else. You're not allowed to train at other places. You're not allowed to talk. Hold on. Okay.
When you're talking culty though, don't be putting team before anything else. Don't be putting that on the culty side of it, because let's be real. Okay. When you're in high school and you're playing sports and it's season time and you're playing football, okay, and you're wearing that uniform, or you're playing baseball, or you're doing all this other stuff, okay, and that's where I say, if you're choosing to go to that level and you're joining a team, not just a place to train, but you're joining a team, a place that you are actually pushing each other, striving, maybe doing competitions, low level, high level, whatever it is. I think a commitment to team is far from being culty.
No, I think a commitment to team, yes, but it's when the expectation is that you're going to sacrifice your family, your career, the rest of your everything else that's in your life.
But that's where I think that's a distinct designation.
Yeah, no, that's what I was trying to get across.
So just throwing out there loyalty to team without that asterisk on it, I think is disingenuous to the culty.
No, I said above everything else. That's what I was saying. Above everything else. That's what I'm saying.
But you didn't describe what everything else is. Because if we're saying loyalty to team and you're telling me that, dude, I don't have the money to train, or I don't have the time to train, and yet your social media says that you're everywhere else and spending money frivolously everywhere else, then forgive my French, but fuck you. Fuck you. Because that's one, if people are throwing out the words, and we've had conversations about this, before, the difference between words and actions. People say word is bond. No, word ain't bond. Word are just words. Actions. We know people that talk a big game. I hate kids. I hate this. I hate that. But then you watch their interaction with the kids, and it's genuine. It's not this bravado that they put out there. So if we say, follow the words, follow the actions. Okay. The words say, I don't like kids. I don't like this. I don't like that. And yet when they're interacting with the kids, they're really good with them. And then you get other people, they're like, I love kids. And then you watch their interactions with them and you're like, no, you do not like kids. Because again, words and actions are 100% different. Word is not bond. Action is bond. And so when people throw out the disingenuous, oh man, I can't train. I want all the benefits of being on a team, but I don't want to have to commit to the team. I want all the benefits of being able to say, look, guys, I train with you. And so when we do big things, they want to be part of that big celebration. And want to be, look, guys, I was part of the team. When the reality is you made a choice to be somewhere else during a critical time when the team could have used your help to move forward. But you chose to be at a club, you chose to be somewhere else, and dare I say, you chose to train somewhere else. So it doesn't matter at that moment in time. You made a choice to a group of people. Now, if that's your relationship, more power to you. But you don't get to then claim and say you're part of a team and reap the benefits of being on the team. We can have a great relationship where I know you don't give two shits about me, and ergo, I don't give two shits about you. And when we see each other, man, it's all hugs and it's all everything else. And when you come in the gym, we train and it's all fun. But knowing at the end of the day, when you go home, that's where it ends. I don't owe you anything, and I know that you're not going to give me anything. So so at that point in time, that's kind of a whole different scenario, a different level to that kind of stuff.
Correct. I agree. But what I was trying to get across was that there's a couple different dynamics. There's the dynamic of, like you were talking about, they don't owe you anything, you don't owe them anything. There's no true loyalty there. It's a transactional relationship.
Right.
Then you have the middle ground, which I feel is kind of like where our gym is, where we're okay with our guys going and getting other training elsewhere. We're
to an extent,
yeah.
I'll put an asterisk on that.
As long as it's not pulling from our training sessions where we need, where your team needs you. So if you're going, we have a team training session and we got guys getting ready for a fight, and they need those bodies. They need those people to push them. They need those skill sets to give them those different looks. But you choose to take your skill sets and your body and go to another gym during those time periods. So you're pulling from the needs of the team.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I don't think you're a good teammate.
That's a different situation.
I'm just putting it out there. That's my opinion.
If your gym doesn't have anything going, like, we don't do a whole lot on Saturdays generally because of competition days. And you want to go catch some training elsewhere, we have some guys that do that. Right. It's all good in the hood. We're fine with it. Totally good. As long as it's not pulling from the team, from the group who needs you, then we've always been okay with it.
Well, again, but we're also designating. There's a difference between, we have a lot of members, and then we have people who are actually part of the team. Yeah. The team. Now, we do say, when you're a member of the gym, you are a member of the team, but you're not really in that core. You're not in that bullseye. Yeah. That bullseye group is the group that pushes each other hard, that we know that we're actively hunting for a goal more than just coming in to get some training, right, and lose weight or things of that nature. We're actually striving towards a big goal, whether it's getting ready for a competition. And so when we have our competition training, and we talk quite often of saying, look, these are our competition training days. So if you have the choice, choose to be here. Right. Obviously, family and your commitments to your work, your commitments to your family, your commitments to those parts of your life always come first. But if you have to choose between, oh, I don't feel like it, I'm going to go to the beach today, or I'm going to go to the club tonight, or I'm going to do whatever, we're just saying, being that you're part of the team, and when it comes time for you to step up, when it comes time for you to be the one who's now trying to get ready, if you're not willing to make that choice, then why should the team make that choice for you?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
Yep.
I mean, that's the trade-off.
So back to talking about those 3 tiers. So like I said, you got the transactional tier. You've got the middle ground, which I feel is where our team is. And then you've got the far end of it, which is the more culty, weird zone, where the gym is expecting you to never train anywhere else, never talk to people from other gyms, never have relationships with people from other gyms.
But again, I gotta tell you though, you gotta take the word culty off of there.
Okay.
No, again, I'm telling you, you have to take the word culty off of there. Okay. And here's my reason and my rationale for that. Maybe it's not for you, but just because you don't like it doesn't mean that type of commitment is not for somebody else.
Sure.
Okay. And I think it's disingenuous. It's not for me. That kind of environment is not where I like to be. But at the same time, there are quite a few people that is exactly what they would like. They want that super deep. They want to join into a group and a community that makes them feel like from day one that this is everything. And so just because it's not for you doesn't mean it's not for them. And so basically what you just said is to every member that trains in an environment of that nature that they're wrong, even though that is exactly the environment that they like.
Well, no, absolutely, to each their own. But
that's why I say, let's just talk about the definition and let's take away the culty words.
Okay, got you. So anyways, so we're going to say that there's the transactional, there's the middle ground, and there's the more, call it extreme, or the more.
No, it's just there's when it comes
controlled.
to loyalty, there's basically a low, medium, and a high. I mean, there's a low level loyalty, which is transactional. It's just, I pay my dues. You hear people all the time, I pay my dues, I'll do what I want. I pay my dues, I'll do what I want. And guess what? Also, at the same time, I, as an instructor, I, as a gym owner, I, as everything else, if that's the level of relationship that you want, then you don't get to then complain if I don't go above and beyond for you.
Right.
Because if you put in the minimum, okay, you pay and you receive exactly what you paid for. Exactly what you paid for. So you can't complain when you're I can do what I want. You can do what you want. But at the same time, what I choose to do with my extra time and my extra energies, that's mine. You don't get to dictate what I do with my time. See, now this is where the hypocrites come out. See, they say, I pay my dues, I get to do what I want, but I don't get to do what I want on the other side of the coin. See, they want a one-way loyalty. See, but then they'll complain. See, they don't want to make the commitment, but they want those people that just because they paid me their due for the thing and I give them all their classes, they want to then complain that I don't give them 100% unpassionate or unbridled loyalty when they themselves won't give it. See, they want it on the other side. And that's where you're going to see the difference between the high end and the low end. The low end, the person is like, I have the expectation of, I want all the loyalty, but I don't want to invest into it. And on the other side of it, it's coming from the top. It's coming from the institution. The institution wants all the loyalty.
Right.
Okay. But whereas on the other one, they're like, I pay my dues. I can do what I want. I can come and go as I please. You are correct. 100%. You can come and go as you please. But at the same time, then you also have no expectation on the other side.
Right.
And that's the interesting part to that lower level.
Well,
tier.
And I like the way you're describing that. It is a relationship, as much as people want to say, it's consumerism or whatever.
So
it is a relationship.
And ultimately speaking, and this is my opinion again, when you enter into an academy and you are looking to train there, in the beginning, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're getting into, you don't know what anything of that nature. Okay. Now I'm sorry, but if you've been there for a couple years, and regardless of rank, you've now been there for a couple years.
Mhm.
If you have not built relationships within that community, and that includes your instructors, then why are you there?
Yeah.
Simply put, why are you there? Or do you just bitch? Do you just continue to show up and now you become the detriment to the environment? But yet you still show up, you still bitch about every training session, you still bitch about everything else. And now you become the detriment to the environment. You don't become a positive to the environment, but yet you've been there for years. So why are you still there?
Yeah.
I mean,
but like I said, I was trying to get to is that
do it.
I
Go there.
It's gonna be an interesting dynamic.
I told you, I've got opinions. You better put yours out there. Say it.
Okay. So no, I liked how you were kind of talking about it like a relationship. So you've got, like I said, you've got the transactional relationship, you've got the 50-50 relationship. So your student is bringing the loyalty and the drive and the presence, and on the flip side, the instructor is bringing that loyalty, drive, and presence to the table. For us personally, that's where we like to be.
We try to be.
Yeah, we try to be. We try
It's
really hard.
It's not easy.
Yeah. We try to create that environment. We try to create that culture. We've been really in the very beginning when we first started our gym in California, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were terrible. Not terrible instructors, we were terrible business people, and we didn't understand.
I was incredibly passionate.
Yes.
About the arts. I was
Yes.
very passionate about the gym, about our members, our students, the idea, the ideologies of being a martial artist, things of that nature.
And I think part of what our failures were with that side of it is our gym ended up being more on the transactional side. I mean, we were coming to the table with all the loyalty, all the push, all the drive.
And I got taken advantage of.
We got taken advantage
Which,
of. And
unfortunately, I hate to say it, that's commonality.
Yeah.
Even when we came to Florida, the people that I tended to invest more of myself without them really coming to the table, every single one of those people ended up fucking me over.
Yeah. So we like to be in that kind of middle ground. And then you've got, like Dave was saying, on the other side, and like he was saying, it's not necessarily bad as long as you know what you're getting into, and as long as you're accepting that that's the relationship, is where the student is bringing all of the loyalty, all of the drive, all of everything. And that's the expectation, is the student is bringing 100%.
That's not correct either. The student's not bringing 100%.
Well, I think that the expectation is. But the expectation is
that you are joining a team, regardless of what level you are, whether you're the hyper athlete, whether you are the recreational warrior in that particular environment, you're joining the team. Now become a team player. That's the expectation in that environment.
On the part
on the hyper end.
The hyper end. See, I think it goes a step further on the hyper end, because some of those particular gyms, and we've run into those particular gyms before, where even at like open mats, like events, seminar events and stuff like that they would allow their team to go to, but that they would have to get permission to train with anybody outside their team. They would have to get permission to roll with anybody outside their team.
Or that they would have to get permission to even go to
that event.
Or they'd have to get permission to even be an instructor at that seminar.
Correct. That's like a different level of expectation of control, I would say, because truly they don't have control over you. There's no, yes, you probably signed a contract. Yes, you're committed to them financially, but you can still leave at any time, realistically. there's nothing saying that you have to 100% play by those rules, but I know the expectation is there because I've seen it. Like I said, like Dave was saying, it's not our cup of tea. Maybe it's yours. Just understand that there are levels to this.
Yeah, but
And
but again, you have to remember though. Okay, so let's take a little step back. So we've talked about certain political things and
Yes.
saying, well, in that particular instance, my personal choice would be this.
right.
Okay. My personal choice is I have always been extremely loyal,
Yes.
extremely
100% to a fault.
to my
Detriment.
to my
Go ahead.
I have been extremely loyal to my jobs, even if I didn't like it. But like I said, if I didn't like it, I got a new job and I left and I did not try to fuck over my old job.
Correct.
That's a difference.
Yes.
Okay. People come and go from the gym quite often. And this is where, again, for me, it's going to be another level of créance or whatever. Okay. People come and go. We've had literally tens of thousands of people over the years come and go through the academy.
Right.
Okay. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Where I put the level of créance is the individual that on their departure tries to fuck you over. Okay. And then I'm supposed to be happy about it. I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, he can go train where he wants. Yeah, he can go train where he wants. But when he spent the last 2 months or more before his departure trying to recruit people to leave our academy, to go to another academy, or to undermine our success under our nose or the like, and then to try to fuck over our academy, that's a créance to me.
Yeah.
That's a motherfucker to me. That is an individual that, in my opinion, you don't like your job, leave. Go find another job. But to then be like, oh, I'm going to bury that motherfucker because you didn't like your job. Okay. At times, look at yourself in the mirror. Did you do your job? Okay. I've always been loyal to my job. And then when the time came that I felt it was time to level up, or if it was time to shift gears and go to a new place, okay, I just simply said, thank you for all the time that you've given me, but it's time for me to move on. Now, granted, in each one, I did not move into competitive fields. I simply took my skill sets and went into a new field and launched into something bigger, but I never tried to fuck over a former employer or the like. Same thing. In my martial arts career, ultimately speaking, I've really only had 2 lineages.
Yeah.
That's it. 2. And we've been at this now for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And that's just jiu-jitsu. In martial arts past that. Now, have I trained at multiple places? 100%. But I've only had 2 lineages. I've only had 2 instructors. I've only had 2 people that are the ones that have been steering my pathway.
Right.
When it comes to relationships, you and I, okay, I carry that same hyper loyalty to that table, because when I say I make that commitment, I fly my colors. When I work for you, I fly my work colors. When I'm on my work time, things of that nature, when people ask me, I want to have pride in what I do. So when people say, Dave, where do you work? I don't skirt around the issue and be like, oh, well, I kind of do this and I kind of do that. I put my shit out there because my name is on my work. My name is on what I do. And so to me, my loyalty is an expression of me and what I bring to the table, even though my loyalty is expressed in what I do for you. My loyalty is an expression of what I bring to the table. And you can either appreciate that or not. And in some instances, like I said, I've shown hyper loyalty to people while they basically were stealing from my pockets the entire time. And then the only thing that I did was said that I don't appreciate what you're doing. And then they lost their living fucking mind when they got caught,
yeah,
basically stealing my ideas, stealing finances, stealing or corrupting our environment and corrupting those are very different things. So to me, I express the higher level.
Yes.
But it's not asked of me.
Correct.
I put that out there. So I would thrive in an environment of that nature. To be honest, I'd probably become the leader. Okay. But that's the kind of, so even though I don't really, but that's where I think sometimes I get in trouble, is because that's who I am. When I tell you that I got your back, I got your back. That's not words, that's not hyperbole or whatever. That's legit. And I take it to that extreme high level. That what you would call that cult level, but I'm not the head of that. I'm the follower of that. But that's what I bring to the table. Right. People can joke about it and be like, oh yeah, to a detriment. People have enjoyed the benefits of what I've brought to the table at my detriment. So I don't apologize for it. I just know who I am, and that's the level that I bring to the table. But I don't give that commitment to everybody.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
so kind of on the whole Creon side, I know we've heard other people and other gyms talk about how, well, I don't want them seeing our secret moves.
Your moves ain't that secret.
Your moves aren't secret.
I'm telling you right now, your moves ain't that secret.
If that's why you're avoiding going and training, cross training, or going to open mats or going to events and stuff like that, nobody's stealing shit from you as far as that goes. They can see everything they want to online and more. Your
moves ain't that secret. I mean, you're just teaching that Gordon Ryan video you saw last week. So it ain't that secret.
So I mean I think that's horseshit. Nobody's got all. If you've been in this game long enough, jiu-jitsu is not. You're not creating shit. You're rediscovering. You're discovering moves. Doesn't mean that nobody has ever done that move before. I think that would be extremely rare that you actually created something.
In the 30 some odd years that we've been doing this, I can honestly say very few times, and I'm having a hard time even discerning it. Have I found somebody that legit has created a secret sauce?
Yes.
That I've never heard of, from
seen
somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
That comes from a philosophical standpoint. And I talk about it all the time when we're training and teaching and things of that nature. I mean, like the words change. But I mean, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of people and training with a lot of people in this sport. And what you get are new messengers that put their voices out on bigger platforms. But I'm telling you right now, they're not unique.
Yeah.
Actually, I think some of these people are out there quite often. And so, yeah, you're not bringing the secret sauce to the table. You may think you are, but you're not really bringing the secret sauce.
Yeah, you maybe rediscovered something.
I mean, come on. Everybody knows what the fucking McDonald's sauce is. It's Thousand Island with maybe a little sugar in it. The secret sauce.
A little crack sprinkled in.
Yeah.
I had a thought and then it left.
Then you lost it because I was too extreme for you.
Too much for me.
I am too much.
You are too much.
I am too much.
You're lucky I love you.
I know. I am. I say it every day.
Shit. It was really good too.
I'll bet it was.
Damn it.
But no, I mean, to go back to, like, for me, whether you're on the low end, hyper end, or whatever, to me, the true definition of the creonch, the loyalty, I think is always present throughout everything you do to a certain extent.
There's
always.
Just levels to it.
There's levels to it. But where I truly find the trader, the true creonch, the trader person, the whatever, is when they come into that environment and people say, oh, well, when you go into an Applebee's and you pay for a meal, no. Applebee's didn't teach you to cook their meals. Applebee's didn't teach you. And the same thing, if you walk into an Applebee's and you go in there and actively start promoting Chili's down the road, guess what? You're going to get your ass bounced on the street very quickly and possibly trespassed, because that kind of stuff is not allowed even within business. But within the martial arts, people do it all the time.
Yeah.
they suddenly they become disgruntled, and then suddenly they're like going around, and unbeknownst to you, they talk behind your back. They become buddy chummy with every single person in the gym, and they set it up to the point where when they leave, they try to now gut your academy. They try to now gut your student base and the like. To me, that's a creonte. That's the traitor. That's the individual that, in my opinion, and I'll just put it out there, fuck you. Fuck you. If you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
But why do you have to be a vindictive asshole and literally go around just because it's not your cup of tea anymore, but everybody else around you is enjoying it? Everybody else around you is happy with the environment that they're in and everything else. Why do you feel like at that moment in time that you have to become the asshole and now preach that hatred within that group,
Right.
trying to get everybody to leave? I mean, that's my personal opinion.
So I think kind of wrapping this up, which was actually really fun. I like it.
Was it?
I think it was.
Was it fun?
Was it not fun for you? I didn't. Yeah, I had fun.
All right.
But ultimately, I think you have to figure out what environment you're looking for. Find the right gym for you, and you're going to know pretty quick if it's the right gym for you. If it's transactional and that's all you want, more power to you, man. But it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
But I'm going to say though, maybe jiu-jitsu is not for you then.
That's true.
If you want it to purely be a transactional relationship, jiu-jitsu is not really that kind of thing. We require interaction with each other on a daily basis. We require that we have to let people into that level of that bubble of safety, that uncomfortable zone, almost from day one.
Right.
And so, like I said, if you train at any academy for, I'm not even going to say for years, let's say just 6 months, if you haven't made a connection to at least the people that you're training with, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the way this thing kind of works. We have to be so engaged into each other that if you haven't potentially made a friend or two within that environment, and it doesn't have to be your instructor is just one individual out of many, and so I know a lot of people, they want this magical connection with their instructor. They want their instructor to now suddenly become their best friend, and but that's not it. But you're going to make connections with people in that environment. Okay. And ultimately speaking, it's that connection where I have a hard time believing that after 6 months or so, that if somebody still truly believes that they're nothing more than a transactional relationship, you should go.
Yeah.
You should leave. You should leave, not be upset, not be mad, not be anything else other than I tried it. I'm not really feeling it. And maybe it's not for you, or maybe this environment's not for you, or maybe this team's not for you. But if after like 6 months or so, you still feel transactional, yeah, I don't think at that moment in time, you should have made a connection somewhere.
But if you want to be part of a team, then understand that it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. You've got, if you want the benefits of that team environment, that means you need to contribute. So be there for those team trainings.
Oh, I'm very vocal.
Make it a point.
I'm very vocal. I was just talking to the team the other day. I mean, because it's one of my pet peeves. People who won't show up for months or whatever, and then because we have something big going on, we have a big guest coming in, or we have a big fight coming up or whatever, then suddenly people who were fringe at best, put out a lot of big words, suddenly want to be like, they show up when it's like a week away from the fight, and then suddenly now want to throw their opinions in or whatever. I mean, to me, like that is not a teammate. That's an opportunist. That's a person who's coming in trying to make a business transaction and is a complete fake individual. And then when the fights are over, suddenly people come out of the woodwork and want to tell you, oh man, if I was there, I'd have told you to do this, or I'd have told, or we could have done it this way, or whatever. Fuck you. I said these words in front of the whole team, and I'm sorry, but I feel like I've been holding back for quite a while. I don't normally cuss, but again, fuck you. Okay. Fuck you and your opinion. You had opportunities to invest in your team, and you chose not to. And suddenly, when there's benefit on the line, or when the fight's over, now you want to become the critic. Fuck you. Your opinion means nothing to me. Okay. Actually, if anything, your opinion is horseshit. Because if you really wanted to make a difference, show up.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to make a difference, if it really meant that much to you, show up. But to only be there at the end, to only be there to criticize after the work is done, when the bond that is formed is blood, sweat, and tears earned on the mats and in training sessions and things of that nature, and suddenly you want to show up and try to like connect yourself in any way, shape, or form, like you had a part to do with it, or you want to second guess all the work that was done at the end because the outcome wasn't the way we hoped. And now suddenly you want to make your presence known, and now you're suddenly part of the team. Fuck you. That's my statement. I said that to the team out in the open the other day. As I said, that irritates me to the nth degree, because there's a lot of fake people out there that they're opportunists that they don't want to invest, but they want the benefits. Okay. They don't want to do the work, but they want the results. They want to put out the words, but not the actions. Okay. To me, that's the creonch. That's the individual that ultimately becomes, in my opinion, I'm going to put it out there again because I'm an opinionated guy. Okay. When it reaches that level, why are you still there? Because clearly, and here's what I'm going to throw out there. If you are upset, and if you do not like what's going on, and yet you continue to go into that school, guess what? That means that there is benefit. You are taking that benefit. You're taking the resources. You're taking everything else. The longer you're there, even if you're complaining, even if you're everything else, even if you don't like it, and you continue to show up, just like you show up to your job, then that means that, yes, there is value in where you're at. There is value in what you're doing. That's why you haven't left yet. That is why you haven't left, because there is something there that you don't feel that you can get anywhere else. And ultimately speaking, and that's why you see it from people all the time. They move from one area to another and they're like, oh man, I didn't like that other place. That's why I moved here. And then what do? As soon as they get to that new place, they start talking about the old place. Oh, man, well, at the old place, we did it this way. It'd be cool if we could do it like that here. Ah, see, now what you're doing, Mr. Hypocrite, Mr. and Mrs. Hypocrite. Okay. When I left my old jobs, I left. I didn't try to fuck them over. Okay. But I left. At that moment in time, I moved on into my new thing. I moved on into my new career. I moved on into that new thing, that new endeavor, and I left. I'm not really engaged in a bunch of those people, but I find it interesting, and I find it almost to the point of sad that when the creonches leave, they always try to remain connected to different things within that environment that they hated so much that they said gave them no value. But yet when they leave, they try to steal that value to take it with them, or they always try to stay connected so that they can still benefit from that without the investment, which is exactly why they were probably disgruntled in the first place, because they weren't investing, but they were clearly getting benefit. So
we're going to plan on doing these like I said, kind of sprinkled in between the interviews and stuff. So if you have ideas on topics that you want us to discuss,
or if there's new ways for me to say fuck you, let me know.
let us know.
Let me know.
You can hit us up on social media or throw a comment on this podcast. Also, guys, follow us on social media, please. Dark Wolf MMA, Dark Wolf BJJ on Instagram, Dark Wolf MMA on Facebook, Pretty Dangerous Women's Jiu Jitsu on Instagram. Coach Dave, he's got a page for coaches, and hit us up. Follow us on YouTube. We're gonna start putting YouTube videos out, so it's coming.
So my last words, that I guess, because as we're wrapping this up, my last words is ultimately speaking, loyalty right now has been on social media turned into a bad word. Okay. And unfortunately speaking, we see it with people. They're like, fuck my job, fuck this, fuck that. I don't owe anybody anything. And you're right, you don't. You don't. You're absolutely right. You don't owe anybody anything. But guess what, dipshit? They don't owe you anything either. They don't. When you pay for a service, if they give you the service that you paid for, okay, and we talk about this quite often. If you like Mexican food, does that mean you like all Mexican restaurants?
No.
Doubt it. Doubt it. Some of them you like the food, but not the service. Some of them you like the service, but not the food. And every once in a while, you find that magical thing that's right in the middle. Does it make the others wrong? Okay. And other people enjoy it, clearly. But ultimately speaking, you don't owe anybody a thing. And the fact of the matter is, they don't owe you a thing either. So whether you're an instructor, whether you are an academy member, whether you are a friend, a lover, or whatever, okay, in Melissa's and my relationship, do I owe her anything? No. Does she owe me anything? No. Do we choose?
Yes.
100%. With my friends, do I owe them anything? No. Do I choose? Yes. Okay. And if you're not willing to make that choice, then don't complain about other people when they choose to not make that choice to invest in you. Because ultimately speaking, you're either a hypocrite or you're an asshole. Fuck you.
All right, on that note.
Fuck you. I'm smiling while I say it.
All right, guys. Till the next time.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Fuck off.
Oh, shit.
Parental.
Oh,